Are people really changeable? Can we change? And I think all of us want that reassurance that it's possible for us to become better people.
You guys do such a great job with this Scrooge podcast. Could you talk about what your heart in it to do this? I mean, I loved the performances. So
Do you know the story? Did you know the story before? Of
yes,
course.
yes, because of the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, that's yes, indeed. I remember that one. Everyone remembers that one, actually. It's a great story at a great time of the year. That time of the year when we all look at what we have failed to do in the last year and feel a bit sorry for ourselves and but in the darkness of winter there is that hope and that hope, of course, in Western civilization. We start time again with the birth of Christ, the birth of a child who brings the gift of change and redemption and 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 Dickens, of course, doesn't push that. He can assume that the people, in a Western civilization, that is part of the subtext of European civilization, really. But he doesn't push that. But what he does is he finds this way of telling a story how it really works in practice. What do we do when we have implacable, greedy, misanthropes who don't care about the world, and what does it take for one man like that to change? And basically, what happens is there's a nightmare, and it's really scary. It's a ghost story. It's really, really scary as Marley comes, comping these great heavy chains, every link of which he has made in the course of his life, and now has to suffer for them. I mean, it is an interesting question, isn't it? I mean, are people really changeable? Can we change? I like characters that can. I'm thinking now of Gimli in Lord of the Rings, for instance, who is the most human of all those characters. He, he starts off with, he's xenophobic, aggressive, hostile, suspicious, knows who he likes and who he doesn't like, never trust an elf. And yet he can change. Never thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf. How about a friend? I could do that. It's heartwarming because he's grown, because he's developed, because he's changed. And I think all of us want that reassurance that it's possible for us to become better people.
Get the latest uplifting news and interviews from your favorite media at Movieguide. Like and subscribe and join the millions of families that follow your values. Now back to the show.
Well, it really shows that his past is kind of influencing his present. And that's kind of a conversation we talk about in the modern world. People go to therapy to talk about their past hurt and how they can live in the present, but talk about, how it really shows that. And, in Christianity, you can change no matter what your past is. You can, in redemption. And so talk a little bit about, how Scrooge is kind of being led by his past, but has to get beyond that.
Yes, yes. But when you think of the great Scrooges of our age, oh, that's not, I'm certainly not going to be in any way specific, because the truth is some of the most successful men of our age are great humanitarians. Carnegie, that remarkable steel magnate who built America as much as anything else, he said that life should be regarded in 3 phases. The first third of your life, you should be studying, you should be learning. The second third of your life, you should be making money and being successful. And the last third of your life, you should be giving it all away. Isn't that lovely? And I think the best and wisest do that. On the whole, I think we're quite well blessed with the great achievers in our society. But in that little society, Scrooge is the greatest achiever there, but he is mean and he does not care for humbug. Humbug, madam. This miserable need of the unwashed, the lazy, and the indolent to complain about their lot when they should be working. A sentiment that I'm sure a successful woman like you would appreciate and fully understand.
Well, exactly the point that, we'd have to take care of and love on people who, have differences than we do, or come from, hardships, and help them. So that is a great point that, this
Yes.
Dickens has
Yes,
made.
indeed, it is. Wonderful poem by W.H. Auden, which is his version of the Lord's Prayer, which begins, "Sir, no man's enemy, forgiving none save will, his negative inversion. Be prodigal." And it just lists the things that need correcting. The liar's quinsy and the distortions of ingrown virginity. Ingrown virginity. I think of Gerard Manley Hopkins. God, lover of souls, correct thy creature dear, oh, where it fails, being so mighty a father and fond. There is that wonderful self-awareness that most of us have, that we are failed and flawed. And no matter how much we primp ourselves up and congratulate ourselves, maybe there are 1 or 2 theses that could be made better, or should be made better, or even must be made better. But it's sort of digressing slightly. What is the magic of Dickens? Well, it's just the surrender of a great creative talent to the idea of hope when you are in despair, as he was, and love and change, that we can change for the better. And isn't that really what we want to hear, particularly at this time of the year?
And now, a brief word from our sponsor.
I'm ready to meet my destiny.
Hey there, movie fans! Great news! Movieguide and VidAngel have paired up to bring you a free 30-day trial exclusively for Movieguide users. That's right. Click the link in the description today to start your free 30-day trial of VidAngel. Happy viewing.
If you enjoy videos that follow your values like ours and you want to help us continue, go to movieguide.org/donate because we're actually a nonprofit. You may not know that, but we're working in Hollywood every day to help families have more choices that follows their values. And also subscribe right now.